saw the picture of Vladimir Klitschko warming up in his dressing room. And now let's take a look at Klitschko and Fury standing together. And you can see from this shot what we've been talking about. Where's the 3-inch height advantage? It does not appear from this picture, and they're standing on the same surface, that Fury is anywhere close to 3 inches taller than Vladimir.
They got the NBA guys doing the height.
This broadcast in Düsseldorf, Germany, to cue the fighters to go from their dressing rooms to the ring. And as of right now, they're waiting. And it's not clear to us what the delay might be and why they are still in the dressing rooms. But there's a look at Tyson Fury with his uncle, who is his trainer. Previously, he was trained some of the time by his father. His father wound up in prison after an assault rap, and he moved to his uncle 7 fights ago and has been with him ever since, and what he says is the best stretch of his career. This is a look at the arena in Düsseldorf, where a crowd of up to 45,000 people were expected to be there for the fight. Obviously, enormous security, as all public events in Germany and elsewhere in Western Europe have been secured to the max for the last couple of weeks. Many were canceled or postponed. At least one soccer match was played in Belgium with a crowd of 0 in a huge stadium, so that they could be certain of having secured the event. And you can be sure that every effort has been made tonight to make sure that they are secure, in the belief that this event can come off without any unwanted event. So as we wait, let's take a look at highlights of Vladimir Klitschko against the last 3 opponents. Starting October 2 years ago against Alexander Povetkin, and Povetkin, who was, like Klitschko, a super heavyweight Olympic gold medalist, and waited a long time for the opportunity, but went down pretty early on a Klitschko left hook. This was a technically dominant performance for Vladimir, Max.
It was. It's a bit ugly. But that was really on Povetkin. Klitschko has a way of neutralizing what the other guy wants to do. The other guy, Povetkin in this case, was supposed to get inside, but you pay a heavy price for coming inside, and fighters just aren't running headlong into that offense.
Klitschko was heavily criticized for holding against Povetkin, so in his next fight against Pulev here, Roy Jones, he came out more aggressive, went for the knockout from the beginning, and pleased the fans a great deal more.
Yeah, he feinted that jab to make Pulev reach for it, and as Pulev reached for the jab, he caught with a beautiful left hook, set him down twice, and that guy started landing the 3rd time. That one did the same punch 3 times in a row.
And of course, over the years, you know, Klitschko has achieved most of his attention for the great left jab and the hard right hand. All 3 knockdowns of Pulev with the left hook. But then here against Bryant Jennings earlier this year in Madison Square Garden, Jennings stretched Klitschko the full 12 rounds, which was regarded as something of a moral victory.
There's a sense that Klitschko is starting to show his age, because everyone always says Father Time is undefeated, although Hopkins looks like he fought him to a draw recently. Even Hopkins went down to Father Time and Kovalev. And so maybe finally age is catching up to Vladimir. That's some of the intrigue about this fight after the Jennings fight.
And now we are told that Tyson Fury is ready to exit the dressing room and come to the ring.
Klitschko, your era will end tonight.
Nice. Maldito Fosky Foss.
If you've watched Vladimir Klitschko's fights from Germany, or his brother Vitaly's fights from Germany, you have become accustomed to the elaborate entrances, the extreme theatricality that surrounds all of these events. Roy Jones, do fighters love all of this stuff, or are they distracted by it?
You have to love it. You want to have a great welcoming committee or welcoming party. You want to see it as extravagant as it can get, because in some instances, this is your last time to perform, your last show. It may be your last fight. You never know. So you want to leave people with the best memory you could possibly leave them with.
Tyson Fury descends from an unusual clan called the Irish Travelers, gypsies, literally nomadic livers, who had been in the UK for quite a long period of time. He was born and raised in Manchester, England, but his heritage is Irish.
Cousin of a good friend of mine, Bobby Gunn, who's a bare knuckles champion. These guys come to fight, they'll be there to the end, and they don't care what they have to face to try to win.
Long tradition of bare knuckles fighting in the Fury family and among the Irish travelers. And now here he comes walking to the ring. He's a distant cousin of Andy Lee, and that's how he wound up briefly being trained by Emmanuel Stewart. Andy asked, will you help out with my cousin? Stewart took a flyer on training Tyson Fury for a short period of time. It was only one fight. We asked Fury, what did Emmanuel teach you that was most important? And he said, he told me all about Vladimir's insecurities. He told me about Vladimir's weak mind and how I would be able to beat him. That may or may not be true.
Well, it's Tyson Fury, who has never been in this position before, and the histrionics, maybe a page out of Muhammad Ali then Cassius Clay's book, who had to feel nerves fighting Sonny Liston, right? But used that to feed his big, colorful personality, and try to, instead of covering the nerves, kind of use the nerves. And that, to me, seems to be what Tyson Fury's doing here in this situation with Vladimir Klitschko, because he is entering the unknown here. Uncharted territory.
You can't prepare for a moment like this without looking back at the 3 overwhelming upsets in heavyweight title fight history. Jim Braddock over Max Baer, Cassius Clay over Sonny Liston, and of course, James Buster Douglas over Mike Tyson. Noteworthy wins for Tyson Fury, and some polite applause from the crowd. Obviously, some British fans have made the trip across the English Channel to go to Düsseldorf and root for their man.
The IBO, the IBF, the WBO, the WBA, defending heavyweight world champion.
Heute bekommt das, was verdient. Garantiert. Das, ich werde dich zum Schweigen bringen. Ich freue mich wirklich, dich zu treffen.
This music has been repeated in the past. For the right shoulder of Vladimir Klitschko there, as the long reigning heavyweight champion, with his brother's wife and his own wife looking on from ringside, makes his way to the ring. Vladimir Klitschko's 28th appearance in a heavyweight title fight. That establishes a record, separating him by 1 from Joe Louis, who had 27 appearances in heavyweight title fights.
Of course, the difference is many of them for Klitschko were as a fractional title, when his brother also was recognized as heavyweight champion. Joe Louis, there was 1 championship back then, and Joe Louis had it for 25 title defenses, and that included time off during the Second World War. So it's really not a common denominator in terms of the comparison. But, you know, all Klitschko fights look like this in the beginning. The crowd's there, there are big pyrotechnics and video presentations. But as Klitschko has said himself in recent days, hey, I'm boring. Everyone criticizes me for being boring. A lot of that's because he wins all the time. And he needs a colorful opponent to create excitement around him. And although this stuff looks like every Klitschko fight, there's a sense of more energy and excitement around this fight because of what his challenger brings.
39 is just a number, Roy Jones, for somebody who's as well-conditioned and as consistent in his habits as Vladimir Klitschko, but it's still 39. The next time he appears in the ring, he will be 40. It has to mean something.
It doesn't mean nothing, I would think. I think it means something if it means something to him mentally and he didn't take care of himself. But because of the discipline that we know Klitschko possesses, I think it has no meaning whatsoever.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please remain silent as we honor challenger and champion with their respective national anthems, performed by the Dark Tenor. Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem for the United Kingdom.
Let's all do this too.
To present the main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing for the unified heavyweight championship of the world. Sanctioned by the BDB President, Thomas Kutz. Also sanctioned by the World Boxing Organization, President Francisco Paco Barcarcel. The World Boxing Association, President Gilberto Mendoza. The International Boxing Federation, President Darrell Peoples, and the International Boxing Organization, Ed Levine. At ringside, the three judges assigned scoring this contest. From the United States, Raul Caiz Sr. From Argentina, Ramon Cerdan. And from Puerto Rico, Cesar Ramos. And inside the ring, in charge of the action at the bell, World Championship veteran referee for the United States, Tony Weeks. And now, the officials are in their places at ringside. The fighters are in the ring and they are ready. So for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, meine Damen und Herren, Dame Gospoda, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing green, official weight, 112 kilos. A perfect professional record consisting of 24 fights, 24 victories, including 18 big wins by knockout. From Heysham, Lancashire, United Kingdom, the British heavyweight champion, the European heavyweight champion, the WBO International heavyweight champion, the undefeated #1 heavyweight challenger in the world, Tyson Fury. And across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing red and officially weighing in at 111.5 kilos. He captured Olympic gold and now as a professional, 67 victories, including 54 wins by knockout, only 3 defeats. He's undefeated for 10 years. Fighting out of Kiev, Ukraine, and Hamburg, Germany, the reigning, defending, 3-time unified heavyweight champion of the world, the Weltmeister, Dr. Steel Hammer, Vladimir Klitschko.
Tyson Fury has been having an ongoing conversation with Vladimir Klitschko ever since Klitschko arrived in the ring. It's unclear to us whether Klitschko has been a part of that conversation, whether he's nodded or answered or gestured back to Tyson during the period of time that Fury has been nodding and gesturing and talking to Klitschko across the ring. You see that the referee is American referee Tony Weeks, based in Las Vegas.
There's a sense that Klitschko may be slowing down as he did against Jennings in his last fight. And the excitement here is not only the talk like David Hay, and the undefeated record like Povetkin, and the fact that he's a big southpaw like Thompson, but that Klitschko is slowing down. Now Tyson Fury has to put that all together and do something about it.
And by the way, Tyson Fury was born in 1988, and he says yes, his parents named him for Mike Tyson. So he believes that he can fulfill what amounts to a parental prophecy by winning the heavyweight championship here tonight. And here we go with round one. Who can land his jab early? And can Fury switch feet against Klitschko and get away with it the way he's done with all his other opponents?
Can he take the steel down?
This is the biggest question, right?
Yes.
Fury's head movement so far preventing Klitschko from landing a jab. And preventing Fury from landing a jab, too. As they start out looking at each other and feinting and reaching with punches that don't land.
They're so tall, neither guy wants to make that big move and get caught with the counter. So Fury is doing a good job of putting his out first, not allowing Klitschko to have the opportunity to put his out yet.
Fury not fighting southpaw so far.
In the conventional stance.
Fury also doing a good job with the feint, but the problem is, Jim, is how long can he hold his pace up?
Neither man has landed a significant punch yet in the fight. We're almost a minute and a half in. Fury has touched Klitschko a couple of times with his jab, but hasn't really made any significant contact. Klitschko is still basically looking at Fury and trying to figure out exactly what he wants to do.
Their height, they're not used to fighting fighters their same size. And so their weights are both on their back foot as they lean away from each other's offense.
A cautious start in round one in Dusseldorf between Vladimir Klitschko in the red trunks and Tyson Fury in the black with gold. Fury misses over the top with the right hand and then very conservatively hits Klitschko in the back of the head. That's one rapid punch with which he got away.
And Klitschko countered with one right back just to let him know.
I felt your glove on the back of my head, and here's the evidence as I'm touching the back of your head.
Just to let you know.
Klitschko's fighting like he assumes is his conventional wisdom that his skills are much more refined, and eventually he can impose them. And Tyson Fury is going to have to put it all together in a way he hasn't yet in his career. He has to have some kind of talent advantage here, some kind of improvisational advantage that he seems to believe he has, but is yet to show.
So far, CompuBox finds Klitschko landing 4 jabs and Fury 3. They find Fury landing 1 power punch, but even that was just a light tap. This has been the ultimate cautious, feel him out, read the opposition, and we'll think about what to do as we go forward. Round one.
Yeah, it's a good round. But all I need right now is for you to play with this jab. Pivot a little bit more. Just crank to the body, go up with it, go up and down with it. That's what you need to do. So all I'm looking for is one punch. He's really fighting timid. He's going to slow down, but you got to keep putting pressure on him and don't foul him.
So listen, watch for that. Think double jab. When you get a chance to run, yeah, you just try and try and go towards you. Come around zigzag, you just switch up. Yeah? Remember what I told you? Right? Try that with him. Just come off. It'll put him into his shell a bit, yeah? Listen, what a graft is good. Understand? Yeah? Think keeping him at bay. Yeah, but watch these shots.
Look for the right hand. That's what
He's got to already,
right
yeah?
hand he's looking for.
Look at that right. Keep twisting him. Nice and around. Nice and finish.
In round one, CompuBox counted Vladimir Klitschko landing 4 14 jabs and not throwing a single power punch. Fury 2 of 10 on power punches, 4 of 19 on jabs as he out-threw Vladimir in round number 1.
Nothing happened in that first round. There was nothing really to choose from. I can understand with nothing to choose from, maybe you give it to the champion, maybe he's a little more aggressive. But in a sense, that's a win for Fury, because he essentially has fought Vladimir to a draw in the first round, and he's supposed to be losing these rounds.
Vladimir Klitschko lands the jab. Fury backs away from it. And Klitschko jabs to the body.
The big problem Fury has is I don't think Fury is known as a big one-punch fighter.
He isn't.
And those are the kind of fighters that really cause Vladimir a problem. Not the guys who hit you with an accumulation of punches and cause damage. So with that being said, if Klitschko decides to go in and gamble, unless Fury can hurt him, it's going to be pretty dangerous for Fury.
My assumption is just always a 245-pound guy who can hurt you.
Especially instead of 10-ounce or 12-ounce gloves.
Klitschko a little bit more aggressive in this round as he steps closer to try to land his jab against Tyson Fury.
Yet Fury is the guy who seems to have landed a couple of shots in this round.
The only other problem is Klitschko seems to be coming forward. Fury's backing up. So if Fury lands a punch, it probably won't be as meaningful as it will if Klitschko lands one.
Here Fury steps forward and lands a left hand.
You always have to ask yourself, if the round ends at this moment, who's won? At this moment, I give this round to Fury.
I do too.
Still a minute and 15 to go in the round.
First round could have gone either way. And if this continues for a couple more rounds, Klitschko's going to have to do something to start asserting himself.
Yes, because Fury is definitely doing things to make him think. He's feigning, which we never seen many guys do to him. He's just as tall as he is, so he's not walking in to the right hand or making himself a target for an easy right hand. And Klitschko hasn't seen this in a little while.
We're 5 minutes into the fight, and CompuBox has not counted a single landed power shot for the heavyweight champion Vladimir Klitschko so far, landing only jabs. He really hasn't risked the right hand yet against Tyson Fury, so the only fighter who's landed something that CompuBox calls a power punch in the fight is Tyson Fury, and he's landed 4 of them.
And he's doing a great job with his face, Jim.
There's something that's not a power punch, it's a short punch.
It's a powerful
Klitschko.
And now Klitschko has landed a power punch by CompuBox count. Remember, by CompuBox standards, anything that's not a jab, an uppercut, a body shot, a hooking punch, a straight right hand, all of those are power punches. Later of this fight, followed by a replay of last week's showdown between Miguel Cotto and Canelo Alvarez in 15 Eastern and Pacific tonight.
Keep the angles that you have. There's nothing wrong with the angle you have. Just keep cutting them off. Keep being patient. Be loose, a little more loose with the jab. And keep the right hand in position. All he's trying to do is pitch you with one punch at a time. You know he's not about to hit you quickly with barrage of punches. And when you get close in, you put that leg.
Step in behind him with a straight left. Listen. Take my instructions to the letter. Yeah? Come out. Think. Good job. Switch it up. Yeah? On the outside of this ball. Over the side forward.
Second cell,
Yeah,
please.
that's right. Really better movement. Yeah.
Round 3, scheduled 12 in Dusseldorf for the heavyweight championship of the world. Barrel level gives the second round to Fury. Klitschko still somewhat inactive in the fight. Hasn't really unleashed power punches. The right hand, the left hook, both tremendously effective for him traditionally. Here he's waiting to throw them.
So far, Tyson Fury's self-belief and kind of big personality and imagination have done him well in this fight. And now Klitschko has to counter that with his superior craft, Jim. He has to just impose the reality of the fight on Tyson Fury and not let Tyson Fury start imagining and imposing his imagination on Klitschko.
Klitschko is by nature cautious. Roy, he seems even more cautious today.
Yeah, he is, because he's fighting a big man, Jim. He doesn't want to make a mistake and give this big guy any more confidence than he already seems to have. That's one of the outcomes of Fury using those tactics to get under Klitschko's skin.
But by choosing to fight this way, isn't he giving Fury confidence anyway?
He is, but he's hoping that Fury will wear down, slow down a little bit or make a mistake like that, and he can counter pressure. He just hasn't been able to do that yet.
Fury has his hands below his waist much of the time. Why isn't Vladimir Klitschko launching a right hand?
Because he doesn't know where Fury's punches are going to come from. He don't know if Fury's going to take a step back and throw a wild looping left, or he's going to step back and counter with the right hook. He's not sure, because when a man's hands is at his waist like that, it's not easy to predict what he's going to do.
Now Fury's in the southpaw stance, and this is something we expected to see.
And that has to do with him carrying his hands especially low this round. He wants to keep giving Vladimir different looks. Not let that Vladimir get set unsettled-handed. So here we see in the third round finally, Fury comes out as a southpaw, hands low. It's dangerous, but it is kind of causing Klitschko to think before he punches.
Southpaw stance, hands below the waist, open invitation for Vladimir Klitschko to throw his right hand, and he isn't shooting it yet.
Yep, and that's kind of strange, but like I said, I think he's afraid to run into a big shot, and he doesn't want to take a crazy risk.
Now Tyson Fury goes back to the conventional stance. And Tony Weeks warns Tyson Fury not to rabbit punch Klitschko after he landed a second shot to the back of Klitschko's head. It was one in the first round as well.
Usually a low punch output from Klitschko is okay in terms of his winning the fight, because when he does punch, he's doing damage. He's accurate and he's punching hard. He hasn't done any damage to Fury so far through 3 rounds.
I think he's not afraid or not worried that he can't do damage to Fury. I think he feels as though when he opens up, Fury won't be able to take his assault.
Might want to start assaulting him at some point soon.
Very soon.
Don't lose no concentration with this fella, yeah? He's looking, and he's trying to wait to launch attacks, and he's going to try it. So what you to do...
Looking at the numbers coming in, Tyson Fury has similar numbers to Vladimir Klitschko. He's somewhat more active, with 60 punches around to about 45 for Klitschko. That's showing up already early here, as Fury has thrown and landed more punches in the first 3 rounds of the fight.
Everything he do is going to come down here.
You're not getting this fella with the jab, I told you that. Yeah, so you think back the jab, do that, switch up. Yeah, that's a nice skill. Stance in there. Take this fella to school. Yeah? You've done 3 rounds now, you know what it's about. Now enjoy it, throw the shoulder. That's some nice coffee boxing. We've got to lift this belt.
Let's go.
Round 4 begins, and we turn to our unofficial scorer, Harold Letterman. And Harold, after the first 3 rounds, personally, I think it's conceivable that there are official scorecards there which have Tyson Fury winning all 3 rounds. What do you have?
Okay, so there's no question that he can give him all 3 rounds. I got a 2-1, 29, 28, Tyson Fury. You know, Jim, in the first round, I thought that Klitschko was walking it down, and if they landed an equal amount of punches, they gave it to Vladimir on effective aggressiveness. But rounds 2 and 3, Vladimir did very little. Tyson Fury's doing something on that, I don't particularly like. He's looping in, you know? When you lean in like that, you leave yourself open to Vladimir's big right hand. If Vladimir could bring that right hand over the top, he could knock him out, because there's no question that Tyson's landing his shots. You see, by leaning in, he's stretching in, he's leaning in, and leaving himself open for a big shot. 2-1, Fury.
This is the kind of fight that the late great Emmanuel Stewart used to lament, where at the end of the round, one guy lands 2 punches, the other lands 1, and so you give it to the guy who lands 2 punches. Dreadful offensive output from both guys so far.
And particularly dreadful from Vladimir Klitschko, who is expected to be better than this.
Those feints are holding him, Jim. The feints that Fury are doing to him are making him hold up and not allowing him to throw big punches from the ring, because he's not sure what Fury's going to do. And he doesn't want to make a mistake and run into nothing big, because Fury is a tall, heavy guy.
Yeah, usually the onus is on the challenger to try to take the championship from the champion. In this case, however, the standards are much lower for Tyson Fury. If he wins a boring fight, very close rounds, he's done an amazing thing. If Klitschko wins boring, even if he wins, hey, what'd you do? It wasn't an exciting fight, and you didn't really dominate.
Well, so far, if you were looking to see which of the 2 fighters is trying to win the fight, you would have to say at this moment it's Fury. Although there, Klitschko finally threw his hard right hand across the top, throws it again, and misses. Klitschko starting to unveil the right hand, and that may inhibit Fury from turning to that southpaw. Now there goes Fury into the southpaw stance. Let's see if Vladimir throws a right hand against that, and Fury turns back away.
And we know that Klitschko's a big puncher, but he has offered no evidence of that through almost 4 rounds in this fight.
Fury throwing more jabs than Klitschko, and landing more jabs than Klitschko to this point of the fight.
Well, we knew that Fury would be the busier puncher, and we know that the business is probably his best chance to win the fight. Late round knockout may seem prominent on him.
Hard right hand for Klitschko lands on Fury's face.
That's the first right-handed power shot I can remember him throwing and landing in this fight.
And Klitschko lands a little left at the end of round number 4. So Vladimir began to get his offense going in the 4th round, but still hasn't been nearly as aggressive as he'll need to be, it appears, against Tyson Fury.
Yeah, you got to go take it now. Your head's in right position. You have to believe when your hands is here, they're in the right position. That's when you got to start stepping forward on this dude. Because he's trying to steal around. He's trying to dance, no matter what he says, he's trying to dance to a decision. That's what he's trying to do. But we're not going to let him. That's why you gotta start letting these power shots. Start taking this right hand. Start pressing more with it. He's not coming around. He's coming straight down the middle. That's why this is here. Start pick and return right away. Don't take. There's no time to take breaks. They start taking breaks. You got no time for it right now. You're playing from behind now. You have to stay on. Just like this. Right hand in front. Pick and return. 1, 2 right behind.
Seconds out, please.
All right. See into it. It's all world title. Come on. Be fresh.
You heard Jonathan Banks telling Vladimir Klitschko, you are playing from behind now.
He wants him to pick and return out of the crop gym. Catch and counter means you simultaneously catch the offense from your opponent in your glove while you're countering, even with your jab. And he wants that because he wants Klitschko to step up the offense, not try to evade the offense, but just catch it and counter with his own as he's coming in.
In case you've just joined us, you saw Harold Letterman's unofficial scorecard on which he has given 3 of the first 4 rounds to Tyson Fury. I'll make the point once again, it's not out of the question as we watch it, that any of those official judges might conceivably have Fury winning all 4 rounds because Vladimir has simply been too cautious, too self-protective, and too unwilling to throw power shots to be in a commanding position so far.
Although when rounds are won by a punch or 2, it's also conceivable that those very close rounds could go the other way.
A lot of times over the jury, everything is kind of difficult, so you never can really tell what the judges want to give or who they want to give it to. However, at this point, I think Vladimir Klitschko should be doing some body work. He has a cut open up already.
Under the left side.
I think he should be doing some body work. Body work will allow him to throw his hands more. Right now, he's getting a headshot. With a taller guy, he's not getting that opportunity.
In the win over Povetkin, he did not throw a single landed body punch. He is not by nature a body puncher, partially because he's so effective upstairs, partially because he doesn't want to get countered by somebody with a better angle when he throws to the body.
And a big 250 almost pound guy who's now open to cut under his left eye, and who, as Jonathan Banks told Vladimir Klitschko, is trying and maybe successfully stealing rounds. Meaning not doing much, just doing just enough to neutralize you and just enough offense to maybe win a round on the cards.
So there's a drama brewing in Dusseldorf, Germany, where Tyson Fury may conceivably be building a scorecard advantage over Vladimir Klitschko as Klitschko goes for his 19th consecutive successful title defense.
And right there, you even see Tyson Fury going to the body. With that being done, it keeps his hands a little more busier. Klitschko has to get busier. Going to the head of a guy who's taller than you is very difficult. You don't see opportunity to throw head shots. So you have to throw a body shot to create opportunities to throw head shots.
If Tyson Fury is trying to land to Vladimir Klitschko's body, Klitschko should be countering him upstairs.
Of course, like that.
You see the blood under the left eye of Vladimir Klitschko, a cut on the cheek. Not dissimilar, by the way, to the cut that Cassius Clay opened on Sonny Liston's cheek in the 3rd round, February 25, 1964, in Miami Beach.
And what you got to admire about Tyson Fury is he does have the best jab in his fight. He's a very good long flicking jab that's causing Vladimir a lot of problems, and the fake before he throws it causing just as much problem.
Klitschko just missing with a right hand over the top as that round comes to a close. Boxing After Dark returns on December 19. American heavyweight Brian Jennings faces dangerous Cuban Luis Ortiz. Also that night, the Axeman Nicholas Walters takes on New Jersey's Jason Sosa.
Look, I'm still not seeing any nice switch ups with you. Yeah? You're the double jab player, you switch up.
All right,
You
folks.
see the two come together.
5 is all I need right now. 5. We ain't nowhere near training camp yet. It's just day 10 of pre-camp. I may look slow and out of shape, but that ain't the case. You'll see. Come December 3.
Because he did it first.